Whoa.
Tonight with those published reports that a federal grand jury has indicted former Oakland Mayor Sheng Tao and her longtime partner, Andre Jones. This comes 7 months after the FBI raided Tao's home. NBC Bears' Melina Jones joins us live with what city leaders and the people who supported the effort to remove Tao from office are saying this evening.
Well, Jessica, the San Francisco Chronicle is citing sources reporting that Tao has been indicted. Meanwhile, the Mercury News is reporting that her partner, Andre Jones, has been indicted. We should note that the FBI has not confirmed any of these indictments, but we do know that this comes after months of investigation and speculation. Now, this all started back in June when the FBI raided then Mayor Sheng Tao's home, taking away several
Sheng Tao
agents raided the homes and businesses of multiple members of the Duong family who own Cow Waste Solutions and Oakland Recycling Contract.
I swear to God, I know
Tao
them.
and Jones have both repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. Tao also publicly stressed that she was not the target of any investigation. The then mayor also publicly criticized the FBI for the timing of the raid, noting it happened amid a growing push to recall her from office. Those recall efforts ultimately succeeded. Those reports of Tao's indictment have recall organizers celebrating and have some members of city council concerned about potential impacts to the integrity of city business.
Shocked, disappointed, but absolutely maintaining my commitment to moving us out of this mess and doing all that I can to restore the people's trust. And that's going to need a whole lot of elected officials and appointed officials on board if we're serious about making that happen.
We've known for a while that we've alleged that we believe that Sheng Tao is a deeply corrupt individual. And my thought is that Oakland owes us a debt of gratitude. Imagine if she was still the mayor of Oakland. At least now she's no longer the mayor of Oakland. We're already well underway in picking a new leader.
Last July, the city of Oakland was ordered to hand over records tied to the city contracts with California Waste Solutions, along with a group called Evolutionary Homes, and documents tied to Tao's partner, Andre Jones. That subpoena also demanded records tied to the 2022 mayoral election. Tonight, the U.S. Attorney's Office and federal officials announced they will hold a press conference tomorrow morning to detail what they're calling a significant law enforcement action. Tonight, many believe that's when we'll hear more about both Tao and her partner's indictments. Now, we've reached out to the city as well as Mayor Tao and her last known representation and Andre Jones and have not.
Then what did she do?
So when so at the end of the video, they were talking about government contracts. So
Okay.
when the mayor,
I kind of zoned out. That's my bad.
you got to bid for that type. So even with my business, I can go to the city of Sacramento and bid on certain properties that the city owns that they don't take care of. They bid it out. They let contractors bid that shit. So if she's giving the business to her peoples, also it's in the housing unit. So her partner, whatever whatever his title is, you know what I mean, it's got to do with some properties, you know what I mean, letting like how you talked about the other mayor.
The mayor in San Jose.
Weeks ago, you know what I mean? Once you get the plan with these properties and these contracts, you're favoring people, you know what I mean? You're not allowed.
This happened in my hometown to a degree. Like we had the Vietnamese mayor, and then, you know what I'm saying, because we got a large Vietnamese community, and a lot of the Vietnamese is balling, you know what I mean? So, and then all of a sudden they buying up everything, bro. Like, you know what I mean? They you know, I'm talking about whole entire, you know, during the gentrification era, they were buying up whole entire woo-wops, bro.
And
like
when it was cheap. And see, when you got the inside information like that, you know where the zones are going to be. See, when you work in the city office and you playing with these property zones and all that, man, and you about to get the drop. Oh, this zone finna be gentrified. Oh, somebody just made an investment into this area. They finna build it up. You might want to start coming to get some of this property too. 100%. You know what I mean? So I don't know, Daniel, I don't know if they said a RICO case, you know what I mean? But the feds came and got her, you know what I mean? So and it's not.
Hey, look, this is crazy though, because they've been cracking down on a lot of these mayors, bro. Like they're going, because a lot of the mayors that have been able to operate under corruption
kickbacks
for a long time.
But also when we talked about this, about the Bogalusa mayor, like how you brought up, Slim, about the youth, him not having the age. And, I think Boga, you said your mind's not fully developed until 25, bruh, 23. So with the experience or the non-experience that bruh has, even though he book smart and knows his politics, just to be able to move through the bullshit, you know what I mean? And then have to rely on old dudes or just people that's more experienced than you, and you have to rely on the information they give you, but the information could be coming with, some type of ulterior motive. So you got to.
They're playing a different game, right? You get elected, you think like, all right, I'm gonna make a change, and then you're like, nah, bro, this is how it goes down.
Right, politicking. There it is.
But you have to learn. You have to fully learn the game before you play it, though.
Experience.
You know what I mean? You have to learn the game before you play it. So
facts.
You're not gonna know what you can do until you know every aspect of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And
you know what's so fucked up, bro? With this lady right here, she looked like she might be in her 30s, maybe close to 40s. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? So she's been around politics and all that, right? But we hear about it in San Francisco. It's worldwide in the 2 different cities, but it ain't nothing but across the bridge. But my comparison to Frisco and Oakland is that you got this corrupt mayor right here letting her city go to a shit show, bro. You know what I mean? And the All-Star game is nothing but a week away, bro. 2 weeks away here in the whole motherfucking Northern California, right? And in the Bay Area, especially Oakland and San Francisco, they known for going up in the shit. You know what I mean? Whether they going up in your cars or where they going up in these Walgreens, Targets, Walmarts, etc. You know what I mean? On top of the homelessness, this bride here in her city, nigga, motherfucking In-N-Out burgers, nigga, leave. You don't hear about an In-N-Out burger leaving because of the motherfucking they worried about they people's coming to work, cars getting broken and shit. But this part, I was about to call it the other word. I'm glad I didn't. You know what I mean? She letting this shit go on her watch, you know what I mean? On top of her filling her pockets because, it's all about the dope. 100%, bro.
Well, I mean, I see the joint going in Newark too, where it's like certain areas, they just letting whatever happen. So they can drive the value down, so they can buy.
So they can go in and cop.
Yeah, real cheap. You know what I mean? So it's buildings with holes in it. It was something I seen. They caught it. They caught it because this kid had put it on. This kid from Newark, he had put it on Instagram. But it was a building in the corner going down Springfield, and it was stuff like it looked like the top. It was like I would say the second story. It looked like something crashed into it, the second story. So it was like broken, like, bent up metal and bricks and stuff like that. But some of that stuff looked like it was about to fall, and it was just hanging. It was just like an accident waiting to happen.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I guess he put it on there on IG and put it on blast or whatever, and they ended up taking care of that joint. Because whoever with that joint would have fell on, the city would have had to pay through the nose for that.
What the person might have died if that shit fell on them too?
Hell yeah, ain't no surviving, lost. No, you would have been dead. That money would have been going to your next of kin.
That shit is crazy, bro. 100%. So and how the government officials is just letting this shit go. I mean, they've been on the leadership of the people in SoCal about how they let the fires get like this, when it ain't no water in the reservoir for fire hydrants to be able to fill up, you know what I mean?
And then we have reserves up north
on duty, you know what I mean? Just the leadership. They say that bride was out of town, you know what I mean?
But that fire stuff, I feel like that was a play. I feel like that was a play.
I'm agreeing with you on that, big bro.
I feel like that was a
because if you already know, I mean, you be like, all right, the winds are about to be uncharacteristically high, right?
Nah, check this out, right?
Santa Ana, boom, let's go ahead and light this bitch up.
Check this out, right? It's too many things. I don't believe in coincidences. It's too many things that were able to make that possible to last that long. There was no water in the reservoirs. The fire department budget got cut. The insurance policies canceled or upped the insurance right before the fires. You know what I mean? So it seemed like they were just setting
or they completely pulled out.
Watch
or they
this.
completely pulled
And
out.
the non-upkeep of the brush. That
Okay.
shit, no, this is California. You know it's fire season. Why aren't you keeping this brush down? Because that
And then drain 1 million gallons of water
Yeah.
reserve.
they're
So
no
look,
good, bro. They ain't good.
because they were supposed to burn the brush to keep it down. It's something that they do. They usually burn the brush. And like in other countries, they do it.
She had signed off against prescription fires too.
I'm glad you said that, Sam. Watch this. It's a video of Trump in his first term with Newsom in the Paradise Fires, which is up here, I think it is. I forgot exactly what city it was. And Trump,
I think it was like around Napa.
Trump is telling them this is how other countries stop or limit it is by keeping the brush down. 100%. He's telling this like
it's called a controlled burn. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So they don't call it prescription fire no more.
No, it's a controlled burn. They go around, they burn the fires, and they have everything there to keep it from going out of whack. So the stage was set for this fire to be the way it is and burn all them people out, and now they could turn that whole joint into a whole city. You know what I'm saying?
A new rich city.
Yeah. So, and rent's gonna be sky high. The rents, wherever else in LA, like that's close to those areas, people got burnt out. Now the rents is gonna go up crazy.
Yeah, because everybody's migrating out.
And
saturating the surrounding cities.
And then it's gonna cause more gentrification in the hoods of surrounding those areas, because it's going to accelerate the gentrification, because the folks that got burnt out of those houses, they're going to want to live there. They're going to have to live there.
Big bro, a lot of them dudes, like in the Altadena area and all that, how many of them are on that property? See, I seen a lady that lost all her shit, right? And she been there like 30 years and she rented the house. So that's another thing. So once this shit goes down and the property starts coming, okay, well, we'll got X amount of dollars for your property. We know you can't rebuild your house. You don't got enough money to go from the ground up. Insurance, it ain't, bro. That, like how you said, bro, this is a little bit more of a, 100%. It's so fucked up, bro.
I don't believe in coincidences neither.
Yeah, it's a
play. Come on now, bro.
So 100%. That's how I feel about that. You know what I mean? But I ain't even gonna get into that because that's a little too deep.
It's just a little coinky dink.
All right. Yeah. I mean, we seen it in Hawaii a couple years ago, and what the rumors was, and what houses survived the fire surrounding, in Hawaii, So when they get to playing with this shit, bro,
yeah.
It's a little spooky, man.
Just like Katrina, like when Katrina happened, you know what I mean? Like, the levees were already broken.
They said they heard booms.
Yeah, the levees were already broken. So, and that part of New Orleans it's
under sea
level.
Swampland.
Swampland. It's under sea level, so it's swampland. Just like Florida, a lot of Florida,
like a bucket.
Top of the mountain.
Guru.
So you just leave it like that, and then when something happens, it just conveniently wipes everything out. So now they're able to rebuild that, make new properties. You know what I'm saying? Certain places I feel like the stage is set, and they don't care if it takes 5 years, 10 years, or whatever. The stage is already set. So once it happens, it's beneficial. They don't care about lives lost, and they don't care about none of that. They make it. Oh, it's natural.
Let me ask you a question, big bro. To double back or to further your point, do you think the 2008 financial crisis was planned?
Goddamn right it was.
It is.
Well, I believe so.
This shit, like you said, it to me, I think
I saw my parents lost it all during that.
These motherfuckers know what they doing. And see, like in the financial crisis, whenever it's a financial crisis for the regular people, the rich people, this is where they accumulate a lot more of their riches, because a lot of this shit is brought down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Harder for us to attain it, but since it's brought down, it's easier for them to attain it. 100%, bro.
It's crazy. Because about that financial thing, what really drove it to that point was was real estate with those balloon mortgages, right? One of my older one of my landlords from years ago, his brother was doing 10 years in the feds behind that.
That's crazy because you know what they was doing too is like
he was a banker, proven.
No, he was in real estate. I don't know what part of
he was a realtor. Because what they would do,
hold on one second. Bogey, let me land this plane, Bogey. Let me land this plane.
Go ahead.
I don't know what part of real estate he was in, but all I know is that his whole case was tied up with, you know, getting people to sign on to them balloon mortgages. And he had shot from New York down to Florida and was doing it. He wasn't doing it in New York because New York is super regulated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he shot down to Florida and was doing it where it's probably a little loose. You know what I'm saying? And when that whole joint happened, a lot of them real estate officers started getting knocked off, and he ended up getting caught up. You know, he should be home by now, but you understand? Yeah. Because I remember
how the common folk was getting got during that time because they would refinance and be like, "Oh, I'm about to flip my house." You know what I mean? And then not knowing the incumbent crash of the fucking market, when the housing market fucked a lot of people up, and then that birth terms like squatting. You know what I mean? Because like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because my folks, they're still in real estate, and during that time, it became like, all right, now they're buying these foreclosed houses, and like, so then me and my boys, they would hire us to go in there and clear these houses out, like, you know what I mean? Because people literally, houses were locked with shit in it, you know what I mean?
100%.
And we would open up these joints, and there'd be whole ass homeless people living in that motherfucker.
And they had to pay to get them out as well. During that time, the homeless, man, I know rallies that was giving you the paperwork to go find a house for you to go ahead and get the 2 bands for the homeowner to get you up out during that time. Even during COVID,
oh, that's bread.
The same shit. Oh, my mama, bro. I'm telling you, bro, that shit crazy. But what the shit wasn't okay with the loans too, though, is like, you know, you say like you make $150,000 a year, you know what I mean? And your debt to income ratio is pretty good. So you can afford a $350,000 house by yourself. You know, you can only afford maybe a $2,200 mortgage, you know what I mean? And that way you still got about $1,500 for yourself during the month, you know what I mean? Because that's how that shit go, right? So what they was doing was, nigga, they give you right off the rip, you know, you can afford your mortgage, but it's called an adjusted one. So 2-3 years when it came, your payment went from $1,500 to $3,600, bro.
Yep.
And that was what was so bullshit about this shit, bro.
And people were either forced to short sell or their house was just foreclosed on the motherfuckers because
100%.
This ain't in their budget. Like in the Bay Area, like specifically, like so I can speak to like what I know, like. To own a house during that time, you have to have 2 6-figure mortgages in that. I mean, 2 6-figure incomes in the house.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? To own a crib for real, like an average crib though.
Oh, everything.
Like that shit is like crazy. So it killed, and you had that too, but you might have only one of the parties, or a single parent, or you know what I mean? Because we're living in the Silicon Valley. This is tech central, where you got, you know, it was abundant. Well, John's like, but everybody lost everything, bro. That shit was crazy.
And to tie it back to this, to the story of with the mayor, I think some of this shit is not, if it's not her, it's her partner Andre Jones about some housing shit. You know what I mean? So if you got unequal housing, unequal housing opportunity, or you're allowing somebody to build in a certain, you know what I mean? It's fucked up, bro. And it's not even equal. And the housing, especially here in California, is one of the main issue. It ain't enough housing out here, bro. That's why they allowing you to slap ADUs up. You know what I mean? All types of shit. They get tiny homes and shit. You know what I mean? Y'all let me know what y'all got going out on this, y'all.
I mean, you know, it's just like anytime there's prime real estate like that, you know, they're trying to sell it for the high, you know. So because even with the bar plays, a lot of people lost their homes. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, you know, whether they were renting, they had to clear out a lot of space, and they used a law called eminent domain to get people out. So they made Jay-Z the face of that.
Word.
You know what, too, though, big bro? So back when my grandma,
because he heavily invested in that shit.
So-
nah, he had less than 1%. They just gave him just enough so you could put his face on
but
it.
they used him as the scapegoat because he's a high profile.
and he from
individual.
Brooklyn, and he
Yeah.
from Brooklyn. So he's,
But I think he had knowledge of that though.
but that's just like how it is back in the
I mean,
50s.
Jay-Z is the most Jewish you can get, though. You know what I mean? Like, he's of course you knew it was coming.
But if you go talk to your grandparents, bruh, and you from the community, they did that in the 50s and 60s when they was putting these freeways in. That's the red line and shit. You know, they got the freeways separating different neighborhoods and shit like that. 100%, bro. Same shit. Eminent domain. If your house was where the motherfucking freeway is, you got to go. 100%. I heard it from both of my grandmas. 100%.
Yeah, they'll come through, buy you out, and
gotta
move, or you move you out. If not,
Oh my mama. Yeah,
Yeah.
that shit crazy. Guru said Katrina was fucked. Many people believe that they blew out the levees protecting the lower ninth and lower income areas to prevent the quarter and high tourist areas from getting hit as hard. And he right there in the right there. 100%.
Yeah.
and shout out to Guru.
Shout out to Guru, man.
That's my guy.
Come on now.